Hi, I've recently returned from Death Valley and it's been a fairly eventful week. Um, I've been mostly trying to catch up because while I was out there, I usually have some minimal Wi-Fi connection with the world. But on the plane ride out, my laptop crashed, and so I had essentially 2 weeks without any connection to whatever world existed beyond the horizon that I could see. And I was out there guiding a vision quest for a group. And of course, that's always an incredibly powerful time for them, of course, as well as me, because I'm alone in that gorgeous, expansive place as well. And the group, while they were truly out there and fasting and alone, it's always this wonderful time where they speak to and hear messages from the mountains, the flowers, in this case, certainly the ever-present wind, the spirit that moves through all things. And this is always a powerful time when our inner landscape and the outer landscape, the primal outer landscape and our personal inner landscape meet each other with no intermediaries, no downloads from the culture to get in the way. So that was a rich, rich time. And after this weekend, of course, I came back and we had the eclipse on Monday. In the little town of Putney, Vermont, I live, it was, I think, 97% complete. Not full, but, and there was a little kind of like party gathering down at the elementary school where lots of the people in the town was there, and it was really fun to go through that symbolic death and rebirth of the sun within this little community. Over the years, I've read many a story about how these events were terrifying and they were attributed to vast, overpowering forces, the gods. And the gods could be angry, and this event could signify some coming disaster or catastrophe. So there was always a lot of fear around when it happened. And I once read a story about how a captain of a ship who'd been through an eclipse before, and he called up one of his sailors and covered him with a blanket. And, for the rest of the crew, he asked that sailor if he was terrified. And of course he wasn't, even though the darkness that he was in was greater than the darkness of any eclipse. And certainly that story was about the captain's attempt to give his crew courage. And of course, but the story is also about our human tendency to fill what's unknown with all our fears. Also in this past week, I went to the 6th gathering of the Mythic Warrior men's training. And this weekend, the focus was on death. And of course, death is one of the two greatest transformations in life, birth and death. And in our weekend, we were asking those important questions. What do I want to do in this time left to me? What needs to be completed? What do I need to bring into the world before I die? And what frightens me the most? And as part of the weekend, on Saturday night actually, we danced our last dance around a fire in a dark field. And during that last dance, our dance to death, we said goodbye to the earth. We said goodbye to the earth and all the places we've loved. We said goodbye to our people and all of those we've loved in this life. And finally, we said goodbye to life itself. And the last part of the dance was for death alone. And as part of that last movement in the dance, we counted down the seconds until death arrived. And everyone fell right where we were, which turned out to be into the snow. And later on, when death smiled and announced that he had liked our dance and would give us a few more moments on this precious earth. The overcast sky above cleared and gave us a full view of the stars in an otherwise clouded night. The message here is that life is precious, and there's only one worthwhile choice in the face of death. We could shrivel up into a ball and shiver in fear at what's coming, or we could live that time, however much we have, like we've never lived before. And that's the choice I suggest, that we live each day like it's our very last chance, and to treat it as the precious gift, for we never know when that death is going to come. And I am going to try and tag on here a little video of the sunrise on the last day of the Vision Quest, the morning when the group was coming back into camp. Aho.